Hey guys, today on Biking with Granty Grant, it's going to be Quadlock versus Ultimate Add-ons. Stay tuned. Okay guys, I thought today what I do is ask the question that probably nobody's asking or has done about 2 years ago, but hey, what can I say? Which should you go for, Quadlock or Ultimate Add-ons? More and more increasingly we're seeing that motorcycle GPS is getting more and more expensive, or people are having issues with them. I was actually looking at a TomTom Rider 550, and then I saw a rather damning review by someone who actually had issues with it. And I'm not going to go too much into it, but they had massive issues where it deleted their map, and the shop they bought it from was very kindly replaced it for them, but still it became more hassle than it's worth. One of my friends in the IM had one. He bought it it was on a bike that he bought, and he said I wouldn't bother buying one again. He didn't even buy it, but he said he wouldn't think about buying one for his bike. And I thought, well, that's quite a damning review to say that you wouldn't buy a motorcycle GPS for your motorbike. Which then leaves you another option, two options. One, map book and Google Earth the night before you leave or whatever, or you use your motorcycle phone for GPS. Now, you know, you use your mobile phone and use motorcycle cases and whatnot. So for me, yes, you can do the cheap option and you can buy those little plastic carry bag things that sort of clip onto a universal mount, and you can sort of shove your phone in there, but I've always found them pretty poor at actually being able to use the phone while you're riding, which then left me with a bit of quandary. Now, truth be told, I've used Ultimate Add-ons for a number of years. A friend of mine first introduced it to them about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was blown away with them. They're absolutely fantastic, you know, still definitely recommend them. But then this other brand came to light called Quadlock. Okay. I was browsing Ultimate Add-ons website the other day, because what happened is, as you're sure you know, I have 2 bikes. I have the Kawasaki and I have my Suzuki GSR. The GSR is mounted with an Ultimate Add-ons universal fit, which is fantastic. You just literally slide it down, fits whatever phone you want, squeeze the bottom bit. It's a bit like a RAM mount basically. The Kawasaki I use a little bit more for touring and work use, so I thought, well, I need something a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more durable. So I decided to go down Ultimate Add-ons route on. Now, I'm going to run through the 2 sort of brands. I bought my Quadlock, it turned up today, and I'm going to go through the sort of the pros and cons that I have found just through mounting them. I haven't had a chance to try the Quadlock at all. I've literally just picked it up, fitted it to the bike, but I'm going to sort of my first impressions, pros and cons of both systems, so stay tuned. So what I've done is I've decided to mount both brackets on the bike, so you can sort of see them and I can sort of talk you around them. So there's the Quadlock, this is the Ultimate Add-ons. Now this Ultimate Add-ons do a various different sort of fitments and things like that. Some of them are U-bend ones. This is more commonly seen now as like a ratchet strap clip, if you will, which clamps around the bars, with a ball joint to change the head angle and things like that, so you can face it forwards, upright, or you can turn it sideways. Okay, this is the Quadlock system. This button here you push down, it releases your phone once you've twisted it, etc, etc. Allen key bolts secure the fitment. I bought the anti-vibration dampener as well, just because I'd heard there had been some issues with phones breaking. Having not used that, so that may be a negative, I don't know. Okay, but you can immediately see the system ease. So let's start off with the Ultimate Add-ons. One thing I noticed about Ultimate Add-ons was the great thing about them was the way this just literally mounts in. It straps up. You just literally put it around the bars, you wind this little handle in, and it straps it up perfectly. So that's a big pro. Whereas with the Quadlock, you have an Allen key here to tighten the bracket, which is great. Allen key there to tighten this head bit here. Then you've got another Allen key to secure this into the vibration dampener, and you've got another Allen key inside the vibration dampener to secure that down to this. So there's a lot of a little bit fiddly, shall we say, fit in the Quadlock. incredibly fiddly to adjust. There's just an Allen key head there. You might think, well, why don't I take the thing off? Problem is, take the phone off and remove it slightly. Can't tell if I've got it in the right place that I want. So I'll just quickly take it off anyway and just see what happens, see if that makes it any easier. But it still means dismantling the rest of the unit. Hopefully taking all this off. Which then means taking, I could take this bit off, I suppose. It's not the most friendly of systems to sort of dismount and then reattach. That being said, I'm actually going to say that I prefer the Quadlock. Why? Okay, this was a major reason for me buying Quadlock. If I tighten this to get a massive secure, as tight a secure fit as on this bar as I can, this strap will slip. That's as tight as it will go, nice and tight, but it's not actually locked into any of these straps. It's between these two loops, between these two holes. If I tighten any further, that's still sliding around. I actually wrote off one of these because I over tightened it and it actually stripped the plastic on the strap, because I was trying to tighten it against secure fit and it wouldn't fit securely, so I ended up actually having to buy another fitment. And then I tried to buy a separate fitment because I didn't like the ratchet strap style of it, and then that didn't fit the bike either, because I then had to buy another attachment onto the Ultimate Add-ons one to then lift that up high enough for it to fit the bars and for me to be able to use my phone. The Quadlock system was a bit more expensive, however this is what it came with. So the Quadlock mountings for the main thing, for the main handlebar mount, came in this box here, and it had the Allen keys, it had this mounting point here to actually fit the phone, it had the arm and the bracket all inclusive, and a variety of different sized rubber grips. Okay, this one was the original that was fitted. I had to go for the larger size because it didn't fit quite tightly enough. Okay, but I had options. Okay, but it came with the Allen key, it came with all the fitments that I needed to make it work. The other issue I noticed as well with Ultimate Add-ons. So here's my phone in the Quadlock casing. That is very sleek. That is very, very sleek. Okay, so if we come and bring it over to the phone to actually fit it, we take it over to the bike to actually fit it on the mount. Now, I'm not particularly good with technology and stuff like that. I'm not particularly good with this, that and the other, but apart from the fiddliness of actually getting it to line up on the actual splines, which I'm sure is just a case of getting used to it, that is now connected to the bike, and as you can see automatically, that is quite a nice fit. And I'll come on to why, it brings me nice and neatly in a minute onto why I prefer this new Quadlock mounting. Right, so say I wanted to mount my phone vertically as I've done here, so I'll adjust this Ultimate Add-ons mount here. Okay, for one, I'm going to make it so it does actually sit vertical, so I've got a nice ball joint here, I can mount it that way. With Quadlock you can pay extra to get knuckle mounts and things like that to change the angle, but it's optional extras, whereas Ultimate Add-ons have included it. However, my biggest issue with this, now this is the case for my phone, the Samsung Galaxy S9. That is the Ultimate Add-ons case. Look at the size of it. Look at the size difference. Because of that, I cannot mount my phone in a vertical position with this case. Okay, I can't see the dash, so I can't see speed. I can't see fuel gauge. When I had it on this side originally, you might have noticed from previous videos I had the mount this side, I couldn't see the oil pressure light. For me, that was a big issue, because if there were a case where the bike had a problem, I wouldn't be able to tell that the bike had dumped oil because the oil pressure light was invisible. So I then had to choose to mount my case that way round, which then meant it was a load of hassle then choosing where I wanted it. Well, if I wanted it on the right hand side, couldn't happen because of the brake fluid reservoir, so I had it on the left hand side. I then had to angle it slightly differently because of the size of the phone case. This is a ridiculous phone case size. This is not the universal fit one. The universal fit one is even bigger. The actual case itself, though, is very durable. It has been down the road once. The phone was fine. The other negative thing I found about it was the actual casing over the top. Very easy to scratch. And as a result, when I was riding in Manchester the other day, actually, you know, using the phone, when it was mounted sideways like that, certain angles of the light would glare against it and I couldn't actually see part of the map. So I had to rely on voice command, and of course if you're in a city you don't know, voice command doesn't help at all. Quadlock, much nicer to look at, much more accessible. So not a bad system at all so far. The other issue I had with the Ultimate Add-ons case was the charger that came with it. I loved the fact they included a charging cable. I thought that was fantastic, something which Quadlock could probably learn from, although they'll probably charge you extra for it. The negative thing I did find was that even though the ports were rubber mounted, the charging cable would often slip out. So you'd be charging your phone 1 minute, you turn your bars left lock or right lock, and all of a sudden the phone wasn't charging anymore. So you're going down the road, you're riding along, you're relying on this as your sat nav, and then all of a sudden the cable wasn't connected in the phone properly and your phone would die in the middle of nowhere. So take what you will from it. I think Ultimate Add-ons has got a lot to offer, but so far I'm even though I've only just unboxed it and fitted it, I'm very impressed with the sleekness and the versatility of the Quadlock in terms of how it can mount. It can mount sideways if you want it to. You just adjust that blue head mount bit, turn it to the side with the Allen key. I think my main issues with Quadlock, the cost of everything. It is very expensive in comparison to Ultimate Add-ons. Very expensive. I had a discount code, and to pay for the mount, the phone case, the extra mount to raise it up if I needed, which I didn't in the end, so that was a waste of money in some ways. But everything was an optional extra. Everything. The vibration mount was an optional extra. If you wanted to be able to wirelessly charge your phone instead of having to put a USB cable from your bike to your phone, that was a £36 optional extra. If you want it, you know, for the charging one, to allow it just to plug in a charging cable. If you wanted wireless, it was like 65 quid, just to have a head to mount on that. So it can get quite expensive. So here's my honest opinion. If you don't mind paying out for every optional extra, but to get the sleekness of design and the user-friendliness of that, because I mean the case on this, I mean, ridiculous. I used to come into work in the office when I worked in an office job, and you know, there was no pocket that this would fit in, so I had to take my phone out to then put my phone in my pocket to then put this somewhere else or leave it on the bike. I mean, it was a joke. But if you don't mind that, then Ultimate Add-ons is the way to go. They offer a lot. They're very reasonably priced. The kit comes with everything you need. Might want to choose your different mounting brackets. I mean, that ratchet strap mechanism, Ultimate Add-ons, that's a disaster. Just stop. You know, go back to the old-fashioned bolts with a screw on the end of it or a nut on the end of it, and do it that way. Just forget that. That plastic strap is useless. Yeah, it's completely useless. But if you don't mind paying a bit extra, I think you'll agree, looking at the design of the Quadlock and how it mounts. Yes, it's a pain in the arse to mount in some ways, to initially set it up, because you've got to get this, that and the other. But in terms of actually visibility on the road and being able to use and see your dash controls as per normal without interfering with anything else, I think Quadlock's got to take the win for that one. But I genuinely don't think the Ultimate Add-ons is that bad at all. I think it's very good. but there are a lot of compromises with Ultimate add-ons. But the good thing is price isn't one of them. So thank you very much for reading the review, for watching this review. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've posted. This is a rather impromptu video as well. I literally started fitting and going, oh, I could do a video on Quadlock versus Ultimate add-ons because I've got both. So apologise for the little rush, a little bit not very well thought out. But this is my honest review. Having lived with Ultimate add-ons for 3 or 4 years, you know, I was very impressed with what they had to offer. But I just feel that the case now for the bigger phones is just ridiculous. And if you've seen the box for a universal one, it is stupidly big. You are never going to find a bike that you can mount that to without interfering with the visibility of controls and the dash. Yeah, so pick your choice, whatever you decide to go for. You know, you won't be massively disappointed with either. It's just a case of whether you have a certain requirement to what you want to do, in terms of if you have a certain look that you want to achieve. Okay, just to let you know, there is going to be a fresh new video hopefully coming next week. My missus and I decided to take some well-deserved time off with some friends, and we are going to Wales, possibly to Yorkshire as well. We don't know, depends on the mileage and how we're doing, but we're going away for the weekend. So also the Suzuki Gladius is going. The Gladius is going. And Mrs. and I went in and we bought a bike together. Rather, she's trading her bike in and I gave her some money to help out. So the new bike will be coming hopefully as well. Triumph Tiger 800 XC in the burnt orange. So it'll be a chance to take the Versys and the Tiger off on a little adventure, and maybe even an opportunity to slip in a little review of Tiger versus the Versys, but we'll see. But thank you very much for watching this one. Like I say, I'll try and plan it a little bit better next time, but yeah, it's been a bit hectic recently. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you're keeping well and take care. All right, bye. Just a little blooper for you. I actually mounted the fucking Quadlock the wrong way around. It should have been like that. Down, so off to the right. Not down. There you go, told you I was crap at technology. See you later.